This time around, I've put together a power ranking of the Shichibukai, the 7 Warlords of the Sea. The roster is a total of 11, including former members. I'm gonna introduce them all at once, so stick around till the end if you can. Buggy is the guy with the chop fruit powers where, as the name suggests, his body can split apart, making it impossible for the swordsman to chop him up. Remember how he even survived getting sliced by Hawkeye during the Marineford War. Though he can launch his chop cannon punch, his abilities are generally weak and almost impossible to utilize in combat. The reason Buggy was invited into the Warlords is due to his seemingly impressive title and charisma. Being a former apprentice of the Roger Pirates and a close friend of Shanks surely played a part. He is also respected for his fearlessness in the face of white-beard and red-haired Shanks. While he's not especially powerful, he is making a killing off the war business by employing escaped convicts. And if we talk about renowned characters, Adradin from the Straw at Grand Fleet hails from here. So, no doubt it's a pretty tough crowd. Moria is the user of the Shadow-ShadowFruit, and yep, you guessed it, he can manipulate shadows. He put up a decent fight in the Thriller Bark arc, but Kuma, another warlord, seems stronger to me. Frankly, the real threat lies not in Moria, but in his power to reanimate the deceased as intimidating zombies. Prominent examples include Doors, Ryuma, Captain John, and others. The strength of these reanimated beings is influenced to some extent by the shadow, or will, put inside them. I guess you could say Moria is a classic example in One Piece of someone who relies too much on their power and ends up weaker for it. It is said that he crossed over with Kaido at one point, but I'm not sure what the truth is, and I don't think readers believe much of it. It's a bit of a shame, honestly. In comparison to the other warlords, Moria was completely overpowered by Jinbin the Marineford War and was bowing down in front of Doflamango. Recently, in Hachinosu under Blackbeard's rule, he was easily cut down by Shiryu. So, naturally, I don't think he could stand up to Blackbeard either. Might be a fair ranking after all, right? Crocodile was the first of the 7 warlords of the sea that Luffy and his crew had to fight. At first, the crew, mainly Nami, said that they wouldn't be able to defeat the 7 warlords. However, Luffy was able to take him down easily by exploiting his weakness in water. But that's an old story now. After escaping from prison, Crocodile has been fairly active, and many say he was defeated too early. His ability is the StringStringFruit. True to its name, it excels in sand-based attacks like Sandstorm Ant and Ant Hell. He also has the ability to dry up anything he touches, causing wood to decay and living things to mummify. Compared to the other warlords, it's believed that he wouldn't stand a chance against Jin, who's like a mass of water. We can only hope for his future activities. The Snake Emperor has shown considerable success in the Marineford War as well. Her ability is the Love-LoveFruit, a terrifying power that turns anyone who falls in love with her into stone. However, this ability may not be as useful when compared to the other warlords. The ultimate technique of the Love-LoveFruit, the Love-Love Beam, is a lethal attack, indeed powerful. But in the story, 2 people have resisted this attack. One is Luffy and the other is Momonga. It's understandable that Luffy is unaffected because he's impervious to the charms of Hancock, the world's most beautiful woman, but Momonga is the problem. He prevented himself from turning into stone by stabbing his own hand with a knife, exchanging pain to suppress lustful thoughts. Truly a vice admiral. Of course, it's not something that can be easily done. Currently, I think that Kobe, who is heading to capture Hancock, will turn into stone if they fight. But do you think this will work on other members of the 7 warlords? Blackbeard and Doflamango, who seem to enjoy drinking with girls on both sides, might be affected by it. While we can't consider Hancock's power much, her physical abilities are extraordinary. Her fighting style mainly involves kicks, which I believe are as strong or stronger than Sanji's. It was tough to decide her ranking with Crocodile, but she's considered the top among the female characters, so I chose this ranking for her. Recently, a character has appeared as a pitiful slave. Kuma's ability is the Paw-PawFruit. He can repel a variety of things, including people, objects, air, and pain, using the large paws on his palms. Ursa's Shock, which compresses air and explodes it, is amazing, but the ability of physical combat and damage recovery is fascinating. Regarding damage recovery, there was a scene where he removed Luffy's damage, though it wasn't shown. but if he could reduce his allies or his own damage to 0, it would be a monstrous ability. Physical attacks are largely ineffective unless overpowered by speed. Therefore, I judged him to be stronger than Hancock. So this is the first non-devil fruit user on the list. Oh, you have the image that Jinbin is good at physical skills, but did you wonder if he is better than Kuma? Let me explain a little about that. Fishman Karate, which is used by fishmen like Jinbin Koala from the Revolutionary Army, is not just about strikes. It's an attack that causes internal damage by sending shock waves through the moisture in the body derived from the moisture in the air. Even without direct contact, I think it's possible to deal damage to Kuma, who has red blood flowing in him. This was explained during the Fishman Island arc when Jinbin had a quarrel with Luffy. You might want to check it out. This must be extremely painful as shock waves hit the moisture within the body. Luffy seemed to be in quite some pain. It's probably more than just painful. I guess it's like having a concussion all over your body. His battle scenes are many, but he overwhelmed Moria, for example, and I think he'd have no trouble with Crocodile. He's even managed to defend against Big Mom's attacks. Recently, he comfortably won against Who's Who is considered to be on par with former CP9 member Rob Lucci. He doesn't struggle at all like early New World Zoro, so Jinbi's strength is immeasurable. His true potential is seen in underwater combat. I look forward to seeing what happens next. Doflamango's ability comes from the String-StringFruit. He's a character shrouded in mystery, and there were even rumors that he might be the final boss, based on how he controlled Bellamy's subordinates and his finger movements. It was assumed that he had some kind of puppeteer-like ability. However, it was a mystery as his hang time was longer than average enemies, and he possessed slicing attacks. It was finally revealed during the Dressrosa arc that his power comes from threads. He's quite good in battle scenes. During the Marineford War, he attempted to assassinate Moria. Although Moria escaped, Doflamango seemed to be rather composed. He cleanly severed Crocodile's head and manipulated Atmos, the 13th Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, to cause infighting. He also severed the leg of the Giantors and managed to stop Diamond Jozu, among other impressive feats. In the Dressrosa arc, he almost killed Smoker on Punk Hazard. He fought evenly with Lao, even surpassing him in some puts, and easily overpowered Sanji. On reconsideration, he's pretty strong. His self-healing ability demonstrated in his fight with Lao, and the fact that his ability has awakened are noteworthy. Considering that he stopped Jozu and manipulated a captain-level character, he could certainly hold his own against the other 7 Warlords of the Sea. However, considering such uncertain factors, a character with an instant incapacitation ability like Lo or Doflamingo ranks first. So I decided on this ranking considering their achievements. Don't you think Weeble has a bit of a mom and pop thing going on? But among these characters, Weeble has the least information as he's a newcomer. What we can refer to is the conversation between the Marines and Kizaru. He's said to be overwhelmingly powerful as a pirate and strikingly resembles a young Whitebeard, though his face doesn't resemble Whitebeard at all. What he has actually done is places and people associated with Whitebeard. However, so far, he has only been confirmed to have won against pirates under Whitebeard's umbrella, so I am not sure of his actual strength. If he truly possesses the same power as a young Whitebeard during his Rocks era or when Odin joined him, then he could be ranked higher, but there's still a lot we don't know, so this ranking is provisional. There's really not much to talk about, so I'll stop here. We can look forward to his future. Next, we'll move on to the top 3. His real name is Trafalgar D. Waterlaw. In other words, he is from the clan of D. Until 2 years ago, he was at the bottom of the rookies, but his recent performance is quite impressive. Law's ability is the Op-OpFruit. The most prominent feature of this fruit is that it allows the user to perform surgery for eternal youth. Both individuals and governments desire this so much, its value is said to be 5 billion berries. The power of this rare fruit allows the user to create a special space, called room, where he can manipulate anything or anyone inside. Smoker explained to his subordinates about this ability. Think of yourself as a patient on the surgical table. Recently, he appears so often that it almost seems like he's part of the Straw Hat crew, and there are many battle scenes. First was the battle with Virgo. He easily could up the character who is top class in armament hockey. Then came the battle with Doflamingo. He didn't exactly win, but he was able to inflict a fatal wound. And above all, the point of interest is the awakening of his ability. In the Wano Country arc, it was revealed that he and Kid, with whom he formed an alliance, are in the awakening stage of their abilities. Thanks to the cooperation of these two awakeners, they managed to bring down one of the four emperors, Big Mom, though it was with cooperation. It's impressive that they defeated one of the four emperors. Law's ability is quite strong. Most of his attacks are difficult to understand. Even Kaido, another of the four emperors, complained, "Your ability messes up my rhythm." It must be such a troublesome ability to face. I'm also very interested in how his ability awakened. His ability is also unique as he possesses the two abilities of Dark and Tremor. The prevailing theory as to why he can have two abilities is that he ate the Zoan-type Inu fruit, model Cerberus. If this is true, he will become a monster that combines the abilities of Loja, Paramisha, and Zoan. The Cerberus is just a theory, so this time I'll focus on the two abilities of Dark and Tremor. First is the Dark fruit, which Blackbeard simply explained. The main focus of this ability is gravity. It pulls in things and people with a black hole, attracts them with dark water, and even nullifies the opponent's abilities as a bonus. However, the downside is that it also pulls in the opponent's attacks and damages more than necessary. He fell down in pain at least once in each of his battles with Ace, Luffy, and Whitebeard, but he also possesses toughness that surpasses that. Next, let's look at the ability of the Tremor fruit. It's the ability he stole from Whitebeard. Reference Whitebeard in the Marineford War. He could cause tsunamis and cracks in the ground and even cracks in the air. It also seems possible to attack by directly vibrating the opponent's body, so I think it can deal brutal damage like Jinbin. Such a terrifying ability is now in the hands of Blackbeard. There's a combo technique likely to appear in Blackbeard's fighting style in the future. It is a technique that draws in dark water to neutralize the opponent's ability and then attacks with Tremor. If we only look at the abilities, I think Blackbeard is no one, but he has a weakness. Whitebeard explained it as overconfidence and recklessness. In his battles with Ace and Luffy, he was hit hard by sudden attacks. In his battle with Whitebeard, he let his guard down after nullifying the Tremor and was brutally slashed with Nagi not Resetsu. That's why in this ranking, he is placed at number 2. He reigns as the world's strongest swordsman, possessing the power to split a distant mountain of ice in an instant. He is also the master of Zoro, who defeated King, two of the four emperors. Furthermore, it's said that in his battle with red-haired Shanks, one of the four emperors, no conclusion was reached. That means he's a powerhouse who can fight on par with the four emperors. Among the 7 warlords of the sea, only Mihawk could possibly become one of the four emperors if he had companions or subordinates. Actually, in this reverie, the warlord system has been abolished. Mihawk has returned to being a pursued pirate. If there's a vacant seat among the four emperors like Kaido or Big Mom in the Wano Country arc, he's a character who is likely to join the four emperors. I ranked Mihawk first because his nullification ability is meaningless compared to Blackbeard, and his range is on par with a sniper despite being a swordsman. If he can land even one hit on the careless Blackbeard, it could be a fatal wound. During the Marineford War, there's a scene where Luffy retracts his attack considering the possibility of being cut by Mihawk. If he makes a careless move, it would truly be over in an instant. So this time, I introduced the strength of the 7 warlords of the sea in a ranking format. I'm looking forward to Mihawk's showdown with Zoro. This channel posts summaries, explanations, and ranking videos related to One Piece. If you like One Piece, we would be happy if you could support us by subscribing to our channel and commenting. Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next video.